Good afternoon. Welcome to one of my blogs. My name's Blake. If you don't know that by now, there you go. Just want to give a quick shout out to the M Squad. Look at my face. I've quit my job for almost a week. I'm trying to grow a goatee for the race. So, there you go. Now we're going to get into a little prayer request blog for me. Now, we are only 3 weeks. 3 weeks. That's 21 days. That's 21 Dios. I think in Spanish, what that means is I'm going to Costa Rica in 21 days. So, there's my Spanish attempt. I'm really excited for what God's going to do. Now, I want you to pray for me in the following ways, and I'm asking for it. These are a couple areas where I want God to shake out of my life. I'm willing to change. I'm willing to give these up. One thing is, there's a Bible verse in Galatians 1:10, and it says, "Am I trying to win the approval of human beings or of God? Or am I trying to please people? If I were still trying to please people, I would not be a servant of Christ." Now, what Paul is saying in that passage in Galatians right there is he's not preaching the gospel because he wants accolades and he wants, recognition. He's doing this because God called him to do a job. Now, to preach the gospel. Now, God called me to the world race, to go out there and to show God's love to a sick and hurting world, and to preach the gospel. Now, I'm asking you to pray over my heart that God will reveal the true motives of what I'm doing things by. There's nothing wrong with using social media, aka Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. If you don't want to admit you struggle to this, we all do to a certain extent, myself included. And I know it's a struggle for me. I'm actually thankful when this iPad mini raffle is over. And I'm also thankful that I will have very limited Wi-Fi internet on the world race. Now, don't worry, I'll post pictures and post what God's doing in my life. But that aside, there's nothing wrong with me posting a status of a Bible verse of what God's shown me. There's nothing wrong with me posting about my blog. There's nothing wrong with me posting a cool picture, and so on. There's nothing wrong with me trying to build my friends up so they can see what they're doing in Christ, aka numbers and so on. There's nothing wrong with me doing that, as long as I do it for Christ. The problem is when I let my human self give into the thoughts of comparing myself to another member at church, another friend of mine, or even another squad mate on my squad, of how come they get 25 likes for a half silly status while I'm trying to reach others for the gospel here, or I put up some cool pic and it gets like 3 likes and none of them are from, people that I thought. That's a problem, because I'm not putting Christ as number one. I'm putting my value, my self-worth into what others think of me instead of Christ. And that's my fault. And I do struggle with this. That's why I'm asking you to pray for me throughout the race and to pray for me right now. And M Squatters, Team BTXers, when I'm with you, I want you to keep me accountable. I want you, if you feel like I'm doing anything and the motives are not to reach people for Christ or to help y'all, for Christ, and you think it may get twisted into Blake's doing this just to, get a rise out of him or a rise out of the crowd or so on, and the motive's not Christ, I want you to call me out on it. I want you to keep me accountable. You're my family. I love y'all. The second thing is to pray for that I will trust God fully. I'm going to walk into many dark situations in this world where I can't lean on dependency on others. I need to lean on Christ, and I know God can rise me up to the man He wants me to be in Him. I want to be a bold man of God who is unashamed of the gospel. I want to please Him only, and I want to fully trust Him all the time. I don't want this complacent Christianity, 50% trust in Jesus. I want 100% all the time, and I don't care if God gives me the opportunity to preach in front of 500 people or one. God is not going to, when I get into heaven, He's not going to be there and be like, oh, you got 500 people that you preached to. That's so awesome. No, He's not going to look at the numbers. He's going to hold me accountable for the motives I did the things He wanted me to do. He's going to hold me accountable for how I did them and what motives. There is a huge burden placed on me by this calling to go spread the gospel in the world. And I want you to pray that when the times get rough, that I will fully trust in Him. I encourage you to follow my blogs at blakemeehan.theworldrace.org. I just want to say have a Merry Christmas, and the next blog I put up is going to be the iPad winner. Thank you for the support, and I just want to say a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year, and just any questions, anything, you can follow me on Facebook or Twitter or any of that. Thank you for your support. God bless, and just keep me in your prayers. Take care.